myself Shweta. I'm presenting this paper on the Bhishti community. This is a community when in previous times when the water sources were distant and were not accessible as they are today. This community people would fetch water to others uh, through their mashak in a mashak made out of goat skin for their daily needs. So I'm presenting this paper to trace a cultural I'm presenting this paper for my dissertation to present a cultural anthropology of Bhishti community. But through this paper on IHSA, um, I will look upon the social relationships within this community and what social relationship do they have with other community people. I will also highlight the traditional practices, culture and social functioning within the community. Finally, and most important, sixth section of this paper is a critical dialogue, information of caste and its social status. I divided this paper in three parts. In first section, I'll be discussing the history and origin of community, from where it find its um, ancestry, and I'll discuss all about its some legends associated with it. In next part, I will discuss the caste aspect of this community, like uh, how do they shape their identity, and the, is there any social stigma, and how does it play part in their life. And finally, I'll try to look on to some narratives through a feminist lens and try to find uh, what position do women have in this community. So I'll discuss. Firstly, I'll tell you what this word is. Like Bhishti, many people won't know won't know about any this community. Like the Bhishti word is derived from a Persian word Bhisht. It means paradise, and similarly, this the community is known by other names such as Mashki and Saka and Mashakwala and um Sheikh Abbasi and so on. So another word they use is Mashki, which is also uh, a Persian word, which means this sack that you can see. This is a skin bag made out of goat skin, and they use this bag only to fetch their water. So what do they do? Th- the work was mostly limited to watering the gardens, the getting the pots of water filled with water for people for the household work. They used to offer cool water to worshippers in mosque and travelers. And another the like so on. You can see here he's sprinkling some water on road, and they also do it in graveyard to settle the dust. Mm, this in my work, I have interviewed this person. This is the last Bhishti who is offering his services in the lanes of Jama Masjid right now. All others have left their occupation and are indulged in other jobs. So I'll talk about its ancestry. Like where do they trace their how do they trace their history? Uh, It is said that Bhishti claimed their ancestry and name itself, like the Sheikh Abbasi from Hazrat Abbas Alamdar. He was a paternal uncle of Prophet Muhammad. They say, according to their history, he was the first person sent to get water from a pond in a skin bag for Imam Hussein and his followers on his way to Damascus. According to this lore, Bhishti seemed to have migrated along with troops of Islam invaders in India. Uh, yes, there's another section of community who say that they were originally Rajputs who converted to Islam long ago. Many anthropologists and also also agree on this part, like Russell and Singh Khan, who wrote some encyclopedias in 2002 and 1916. Uh, there's a legend associated with this community also. Uh, it's available at many sources. It narrates about a Bhishti who saved the Emperor Humayun's life at Chausa, and he was rewarded by a tenure of imperial throne for a day. What he did in that day, that uh, he provided for his family and friends and caused his leather bag, which he used to fetch water, to cut into rupees and which were guided and stamped to record the date and rhyme in order to perpetuate its memory. Uh, in this section, I'll talk about the caste aspect related to this community. The community feel a constant pull for dignity. Like they say it's a they're proud of work they do. They say it's a work of zakat. Because it's a job of social service. Like they're serving people, and it will help them to get a good place in their afterlife. But on other side, some people of society thinks it's less worthy and it's a job of no honor. Uh, there are instances when people would discriminate and marginalize people of this community due to their caste identity. Nidhi Kundalia wrote a book and she interviewed a Mushki in 2015, uh, where she mentions many such instances, like they had to bow down to babus and uh, look down and so on, like which depicts how degraded social status they have today uh, due to the work they do. So yes, why did it happen? So how did this transition happen? So there's I could trace a theory with help of my I interviewed. Uh, he mentions like in previous times when they used to do they the our community people used to do work out of their will, and people would respect them because there was no way one could survive a day without water, and only water was provided by a bhishti to the household. But when pipelines were laid out as a developmental work in during the independence era, so what was done that the work of history was no longer needed, and they were asked by municipality to clean the drains and uh, sprinkle water on roads and do the work with sweeper who used to clean the area. So then our transition happened from into the social status of this community people. And in next section, I would talk about the woman. I interviewed. number of people from this community. I visited their place. Like, um, I'll talk about women in this section. Um, I visited their places many times, like 10, 15 visits I made to them. But I faced a lot of difficulty in convincing them to let me have a conversation with any women from the community. They themselves were very friendly to me, but people in this community look down on women and their intellectual capabilities. Uh, I asked them if I could collect some songs or stories they can tell me, but I was told that women are not literate enough to talk anything about to me. Um, Also, I was I could never spot a woman without any parda and coming out to me and talking to me freely. Lady Kundalia also mentions this uh, during when she interviewed Bhishti from Calcutta. When he says that women are supposed to take care of households, the women get married, and they're not supposed to come out and indulge in any conversation with strangers and so on. So it sends a clear loud message about women in community, like how discouraging attitudes they have towards their productivity and important roles and as an individual. I'll conclude it by saying that people from this community had a substantial position to provide for essential need, that is water. But uh, with time, when pipeline was connected to every household, uh, they lost their significance of their service. Uh, this community has faced a trajectory of status because of nature of work the community member indulged themselves in. Like previously, when they were providing their services to every other person in society, they were respected as anyone. But when the nature of work was limited to cleaning and sweeping and so on, the social positioning uh, fallen uh, to lower hierarchies of social status. Um, I'll end it by providing a contemporary situation that where most of people have given up on their occupation in hope for a better life. They believe that education can change the discourse uh, of the social status and yes. So they look for other means they can uh, themselves into. Yes, thank you.